Hey guys, welcome back to another math lesson with HKM Math and Science. This video will be about the number plane and graphs, and by the end of this lesson we should all know the meaning of the words domain, range, origin and coordinates, be able to interpret the location of a point described by its coordinates, and finally be able to plot one or more points given their coordinates. Let's just pause the video here and take a couple minutes to write these down. Alright, so the first thing that we need to know is that a number plane is generally referred to as a Cartesian plane. A number plane consists of two straight perpendicular number lines called axes, like we can see down here. These are two perpendicular lines there. And the horizontal number line is known as the x-axis, that's this one here. And the vertical number line is known as the y-axis. The point at which the two axes intersect is called the origin. That's over here, that's where they intersect. That's called the origin there, and it is often labeled O, like we can see over here. So you would write O when you're drawing your own set of Cartesian planes. Alright, now moving on, the position of a point on a number plane is given as a pair of numbers known as the coordinates of the point. Coordinates are always written in brackets, and numbers are separated by a comma. So an example here is 2, 4, and x would always come first. This indicates how far to go from the origin horizontally, and y coordinate is always second, indicating how far to go from the origin vertically. So let's have a go at this one. This one is 2, 4. It's telling us go 2 spaces to the right because it's positive 2 horizontally, and then 4 spaces vertically upwards because it's positive as well. So that will lead us to this point here. That will be coordinate 2, 4. Alright, now let's have a go at plotting some points. Let's plot these points A, B, and C, 2, 5, 4, 3, and 0, 2. So we have 2, 5 first. We go to the right 2 spaces because it's positive 2, and then up 5 spaces because it's positive 5. That will lead us to that point there. And then we take it to 4, 3. That's over here and there. Right 4, up 3. And C is 0, 2. So we go 0 points, either 0 points that's directly on the origin. And then we go 2 spaces upwards. So that's that point there. And let's label them. This one is A, that one is B, and that one is C. Alright, now it's your turn. Let's just pause the video here. Draw a rough number plane in your books, and let's plot these points as well. Alright, starting with coordinate A, we have 1, 4. So that's right 1 place and up 4 places. That brings me here. Let's label that as A. B is 3, 2. Right 3, up 2. That's B. And C is 4, 0. So that'll be right there. That one is C. Give yourself a tick for each one you got correct there. Now, there's just a couple more things that we need to know. So for a rule describing pattern with input and output, you'll see some of these in this chapter. The x value is the input and the y value is the output. So just remember that x value is input and the y value is the output. All the possible input values are called the domain, and all the possible output values are called the range. Alright, so this will all make a little bit more sense in the next slide. So let's move on. Let's have a go at a sample question. For the given rule, output equals input plus 1. Complete the table of values. So let's complete that. So output, that's over here, y, is just going to equal input plus 1. That gives me 2 there. This one gives me 3. And this one gives me 4 because it's just input plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. Alright, now we need to plot each point in the table to form a graph. Remember, the input is x and the output is y. So this one will be the x and that will be the y. Our first point is 0, 1, so that will be over here. Just draw that. Next one is 1, 2, 1 on the x, 2 on the y. That's what it will look like. Next, I don't know why I can't draw. There we go. Next is 2, 3. There we go. The one after is 3, 4. So that's what your graph for Cartesian plane should look like. Now to domain. Remember, domain is all the possible input values. So all the values that represent the domain will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. And all the values that represent the range, remember that's all the output values. So that will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll just change this up here. Yep, so this is what your domain and range should look like for this question. Alright, now moving on. For the given rule, output equals input plus 4. Let's complete the table of values for it first. So remember, output equals input plus 4, so we're just adding 4 to the input. This one will be 5, that one will be 6, and that one will be 7. Alright, now moving on, plot each pair of points in the table to form a graph. So just like we did before, we're going to plot these. First one is 0, 4. Next one is 1, 5. Next one is 2, 6. And next one is 3, 7. Just enough space to fit all that in. And the next one, we need to list the values that represent the domain. Remember, that's all the possible input values, so that will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. And the values that represent the range will be all the output values, so it'll be 4, 5, 6, and 7. Give yourself a tick for each question you got correct there. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys now know what domain, range, origin, and coordinates are, can interpret the location of a point described by its coordinates, and finally can plot one or more points given their coordinates. Once you guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all back online.